Now, a police officer sustained serious injuries in Nairobi Central Business District amid tense clashes between security forces and protesters commemorating the first anniversary of the Gen Z-led June 25th, 2024 protests.
Well, earlier attempts by police to disperse crowds with tear gas were met with resistance as stone-throwing youth overpowered officers, forcing some to retreat.
Confrontations turned into a relentless cat-and-mouse chase with waves of protesters pushing forward. NTV's Rosongoi reports that several officers were injured in the skirmishes and rushed to hospitals for treatment.
The protest, which started peacefully in the morning, took a violent turn in parts of the CBD, especially along Kenyatta Avenue and Moi Avenue. In a dramatic scene, a female police officer narrowly escaped death after being overwhelmed by an aggressive crowd of protesters. The officer had been part of a unit trying to disperse demonstrators when she became isolated during the chaos. Protesters hurled stones at the policewoman and other officers, forcing her to retreat as others closed in. However, just moments before the situation worsened, a backup team of anti-riot police officers arrived in a police truck and managed to rescue her from the enraged crowd. The timely intervention likely saved her life as she was rushed to Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital. Another police officer was also injured on the face, but in a rare act of solidarity, protesters swiftly came to his rescue and offered him first aid. Along Thika Road, a police officer sustained injuries after angry protesters hurled stones at him. He was rushed to hospital by fellow officers. This police officer escaped the wrath of angry protesters after he was cornered alone during the Gen Z demonstrations along Moi Avenue. The visibly distressed officer, holding his helmet in one hand, was saved in the nick of time after security guards opened one of the buildings to offer him a safe hideout. In a disturbing incident, an officer was left behind by his colleagues who were in this lorry. In a video captured, the terrified officer could be seen running for his dear life as the demonstrators followed in hot pursuit. The angry protesters beat up the officer mercilessly. Elsewhere, an anti-riot police officer was physically assaulted along Thika Road. The officer who was armed with a baton was involved in an altercation with this man, but he got overpowered and had to flee. Similar scenes played out in Kitengela, where a group of police officers in full anti-riot gear narrowly escaped death after being cornered by a group of protesters along Wiriri Road. The cops could be seen running away as protesters threw stones at them. Rosongoi, NTV.